1980 in Mexico. Oil money, Olympic glory, exploding cities, giant concerts, political tension, scientific ambition, and enough telenovela drama to power an entire continent. While the world entered a flashy new decade, Mexico balanced modern dreams with old realities, sometimes elegantly, sometimes like a bus avoiding potholes at full speed. By 1980, Mexican television wasn't just entertainment. It was cultural gravity. Televisa expanded across Latin America with telenovelas, variety shows, and giant live productions. Entire neighborhoods synchronized dinner with primetime melodrama. Streaming algorithms? Mexico had grandmothers recommending episodes decades before Silicon Valley discovered binge-watching. Mexico City entered the 1980s as one of Earth's fastest-growing megacities. Millions arrived searching for opportunity, transforming farmland into endless neighborhoods almost overnight. Traffic became legendary. Smog became visible from mountains. Yet the capital buzzed with ambition. A giant urban laboratory powered by tacos, buses, construction dust, and endless optimism. 70 years after the Mexican Revolution began, politicians wrapped themselves in revolutionary symbolism while citizens debated what progress actually meant. Murals, parades, speeches, and patriotic broadcasts filled 1980. The revolution remained Mexico's national origin story, equal parts history lesson, political branding, and emotional family inheritance. Across universities, journalism, arts, and activism, more Mexican women pushed into public leadership during 1980. Feminist organizations gained visibility, challenging traditional expectations in a deeply conservative society. Change moved unevenly, sometimes awkwardly, but unmistakably forward. Mexico's future increasingly sounded less like one national voice, and more like a conversation. Mexico's oil boom was in full swing. New discoveries turned the country into an energy giant, and officials spoke confidently about a prosperous future funded by petroleum. Pemex became a national symbol of modernity. The mood was ambitious. Build faster. Spend bigger. Dream globally. Spoiler alert. Economists would later request fewer dramatic plot twists. Arcade machines began appearing in Mexican cities, introducing teenagers to glowing screens, electronic sounds, and the universal art of spending too many coins chasing high scores. Pac-Man fever arrived right on schedule. Parents worried. Kids ignored them completely. The digital future entered Mexico, one blinking arcade cabinet at a time. At the 1980 Moscow Olympics, Mexico competed while many Western nations boycotted the Games over the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. The country's athletes carried both sporting ambition and diplomatic symbolism. For Mexican audiences, the Olympics remained irresistible television. Global politics wrapped inside sweat, flags, and extremely short-running shorts. Mexico's economy expanded rapidly in 1980, fueled by oil exports and international borrowing. On paper, the future looked spectacular. In reality, inflation and debt quietly gathered backstage like villains in a soap opera nobody noticed yet. Many families experienced rising expectations alongside rising prices. A classic economic double feature. As violence intensified in neighboring Guatemala, thousands of refugees crossed into southern Mexico seeking safety. The humanitarian crisis reshaped border communities and reminded Mexicans that Cold War tensions in Latin America were deeply personal, not distant headlines. History arrived carrying suitcases, exhausted children, and uncomfortable geopolitical questions no government could ignore. President José López Portillo projected enormous confidence in 1980. Oil wealth seemed endless, modernization accelerated, and Mexico presented itself as a rising global power. Massive infrastructure projects transformed the country. For one dazzling moment, Mexico genuinely believed the future had arrived early, and possibly in a presidential motorcade. Mexico in 1980 was energetic, ambitious, crowded, complicated, and impossible to ignore. Beneath the optimism, major challenges quietly gathered strength, but so did creativity, resilience, and cultural influence. It was a country accelerating into the modern age at full speed, occasionally without checking the brakes. And honestly, that's part of the story.